Hello friends, what's up? This is Ron here and our special signature volume 5 have arrived and we are having our SS Terry Bogart, SS Blue Mary. So as usually these characters will be stronger of course than any other characters in the game. We all know that the latest characters are very strong, but let's see how strong they can be and how useful they can be in terms of our contents, especially guilds and time attack, this sort of things. So first of all, we'll be looking at the characters, then we'll be checking out the cards, then finally I'm going to try to briefly check out the other updates, especially some of them are really interesting. So let's go and check the characters, my friends. Here we go, Terry Bogart, special signature. He is a red attack TIE fighter, which we already know from yesterday's video, and he has a leadership of increase attack TIE fighters attack by 60%, decrease HP by 5%. So it is a good leadership, but somehow it is limiting because it is not covering all the team members. Only it is going to work for the attack TIE fighters. But one thing is good about this, that it is going to cover all the attack TIE fighters in the game and buff their attacks by 60%, which is massive. Now let's take a good look at the skills, and he is having that charging skill as we saw in characters like Nameless or previous any other characters. SS Yuri Sakazaki, for example, all are having this sort of skills. Now this charging skill, whenever it is touched for the first time, it has the same stunning effect as we saw in Nameless. So this guy is going to be immensely useful in places like when you are destroying your mobs, especially in I would say in time attacks and also demo space, especially. Of course I'll be getting back to that point because this guy has a lot of mechanism, and a power gauger also is going to inflict damage equal to certain percent, increase target damage received by 30% for 8 seconds, my friends. 8 seconds is a long time for get target damage received, and it's going to deal a burn damage equal to certain percent for 10 seconds. This is good, but burn damage is always, we are kind of tired of this burn damage, by the way. Next, we are having that when it is maxed, the power gauger is going to inflict damage equal to 132%, increase target damage received by 35%, and is going to apply an infernal flame to the target for 12 seconds. I mean, this is going to be the longest amount of dot that is applied into any character. And additionally, it is going to decrease critical rate by 80% and decrease defense by 30% of the opponent. I mean, a lot of characters these days are having their skills based on their crit rates. So those characters are going to suffer a lot against this character. That means he is going to be a great fighter in PvP as well. Let's move on to the next skill. This one is going to power charge X. Is going to inflict damage certain percent, use increase attack by 50% for 7 seconds though. So this character's attack is going to increase for 50% for 7 seconds, and combine this with this target's damage received by 30%. So this, as a result, it is going to deal a huge amount of damage. Either it can be boss or any other opponent anyways. And additionally, this is going to deal burn and starlight damage equal to 5.5 times of the remaining burn, starlight damage, and remove buffs. Burn and starlight when attacking is affected, that is both burn and starlight dot explosion, my friends. Both burn and starlight dot explosion, and for the first time probably we are having this starlight dot explosion. Next, inflict damage equal to certain percent, gain hyper armor, super armor, used to increase attack by 50% for 7 seconds, and can be used when attack. So once again, the attack is going to be increased for 50% from the skills. So 50% from here, 50% from here, and if you keep on repeating these skills, and they actually have a 10.4 seconds of cooldown, so most of the time your character's attack is going to be increased for 50%. And remember that this guy is an attack type fighter with a huge amount of attack in his basic stat already. Next is the finisher, and finisher has some interesting effect as well. It is going to inflict damage equal to certain percent, of course, But additionally, it is going to increase target's damage received by another 15% for 12 seconds upon landing a skill. So that is something totally new, because increased damage received, target's damage received for 12 seconds means a lot. And these 15 seconds will be supported by the 30% that we got from here. So massive effects. Now let's take a good look at the core. And once again, 30% PG gain, critical rate of 2.4%, attack 150%, continuous burn, damage enhancement of burn, skill enhancement blast, critical rate 24%. Look at this, 24% critical rate here, 2.4% critical here. My goodness, this is going to be the highest critical damage dealing character in the game. Previously we saw Ash, we saw Leona, characters like these, and also Genis to some extent. They are having good critical rate, but boy, this guy is going to beat all of them. The highest critical damage rate character in the game, no doubt. And this one, look at this core, my friend. This is going to becomes immune to stun and burn. Freaking amazing thing, because getting immune to stun means he's going to disable a lot of characters, by the way. Deal starlight damage equal to 80% of attack to the target every 1 second for 10 seconds upon landing a skill, guard included. Look at this, my friends. We got our ultimate character for Rugal Guild in expert mode. Starlight in the core. Starlight in the core means each and every of his moves, every of his skills, it doesn't matter, active skill or basic skill or finisher, whatever, every one of them is going to deal starlight to the opponent. How freaking dope is that? So totally the lunatic will be totally broken, and expect to see billions and multi-billions of damages next week. And is going to recover 5% HP upon landing a critical hit. That is of course going to be super helpful, because he is an attack type character and he lacks a lot of HP, of course. Basically we all know that, but this recovering HP of in the core, it means a lot, and it depends upon landing a critical hit, and we know that he has a very high critical rate from the core. So pretty much balanced, amazing core. And next core, that is Starving Wolves, that is going to cast a shield and absorb damage for 7 seconds on HP is 50% more. Same shield that we saw in Leona, BS Leona, so amazing shield. And remove the shield when attacked by 20 times. We all know that how the shield is removed. Becomes immune to damage for 4 seconds on HP 30% or less. That is also cool. When his HP is going to below 30%, he is going to be immune to damages, any sort of damages for 4 seconds. And 4 seconds actually means a very long time. Then the special signature volume 5 exceptional core, that is going to gain 1.4% power for every 0.4 second when in guard stance. Decrease damage received by 70% for 3 seconds when accumulated attacks received and guard included, blah blah blah. So overall a pretty strong character, pretty balanced character. He has shield, he has starlight in the core, he has a massive amount of critical rate. So obviously this character is going to be a very high CP character. So let's check out some of his skills. Oh boy, I can't wait. And this is going to be the first one. And this is the charged one. Next we are having this classic. Wow, cool. Next one, the super armor. And the finisher, the default finisher would be this one. Look at this. This is pretty long. Good stuff. And let's check out the final finisher. Wow, Fatal Fury. Oh boy. Good stuff, and pretty long as well. Good one. I love this one. Now let's take a good look at Blue Mary. And Blue Mary is of course is going to be a blue defense character who has a leadership of increased grab skill damage by 65% and obtain 5% power upon using a grab skill. Now this is not the best leadership of the game, I would say, because not many great characters are actually dealing grab skills. But in future maybe there will be characters like other characters. For example, let's say Yashiro. He can be a BS character in the game, of course, and of course there are characters like Shermie who can also be a BS or SS characters in the game, and both of these characters are actually having the grab skill. So don't really get much frustrated with this leadership, because at this point this grab skill leadership may not prove very strong or useful at all, other than just buffing herself. But soon we'll be having a bunch of characters with great grab skills, and that will of course change the way that we think about grab skill, because previously we saw that what netmarble did with the blast skill. They brought immensely strong characters with blast skill, Leona, Nameless, and some other strong characters as well, and they also give us very strong blast skill and strike skill characters, like for example, let's say Ash, BS Ash. He's a great character with a lot of blast skill in his kit, and Nameless was a great character with a strike skill in his kit. So both of these skills have been operated, but now it's time for the grab skill. Looks like, let's take out her skills. And the first skill, Crab Clutch X, is going to inflict damage equal to 7%, increase target damage received by 30%, same as Terry, and drops lighting on all targets upon use. The active skill cooldown by 2 seconds, deal shock damage equal to 30% of attack for 8 seconds. Here we go, my friends. Shock damage dealing SS character for the first time. We are having this shock damage dealing character, and that means she is going to be immensely useful against geese in lunatic mood. The thing is, it is going to be a grab skill, and most of her skills looks like all of her skills are grab skills. So it is going to be either win or loss. So we are getting shock damage dealer here. Next we have this real counter that is going to can be used. This is probably is going to be a counter skill, and real backdrop. This is going to inflict damage equal to 13%, is increase by attack by 42% for 8 seconds. Look at this, 42%, huge amount of attack increase. 70% chance to remove hyper armor and super armor. Next one, Mary's Breaker, is going to inflict damage 13%, hyper armor, super armor, okay. Next we are having this inflict damage equal to 1388% of attack to an enemy. Oh my lord. 60% chance to reset active skill cooldown when using a skill. This is going to be pretty amazing, because 60% chance is a very high chance, I would say. And in characters like 0, BS, 0 original, we have a chance in a lower chance. We already have a very lower chance in that character, but still I have seen that this character is resetting skill very frequently. As a striker, she is going to deal shock. That is going to be immensely useful if you are not even developing her, or you got her by accident or something. Let's go and check the core, my friends. Power gain, defense increase, critical rate increase of 4%, continuous damage enhancement of shock, immensely useful characters in lunatic mood. Remember, my friends, grab skill enhancement. Now don't get confused the way the grab skill is going to be talked about here. A lot of people has a distaste about this grab skill, but don't forget characters like BS Chrysalid. He has a lot of grab skill, and he was the best BS character in his time and for a long time. He is still very much active. So don't worry about that. We have this increased attack, and this first score here. Once again, this character is going to be immune to stun and shock. Wow, impressive. And it is going to decrease active skill cooldown by 0.5 seconds when attacking shocked targets. So once again, a very good core here, because this active skill cooldown of 0.5 seconds in the core means a lot. We have seen that in characters like BS Leona, We have seen that in characters like BS Nameless. Amazing stuff here. 80% chance to stun all targets upon for 1 second upon using an active skill. So this stun thing is going to be a very strong area of her. Next core, activate Stun Fang when targeting attacking targets that cannot be grabbed. Look at this. There are many targets in the game that cannot be grabbed at all. So in that case, this is going to activate a Stun Fang. And I'm not really sure how this thing is going to work out, but I have to actually do some real testing. And additionally, it's going to deal shock damage equal to 550% of attack to the target every 0.15 seconds for 1 second. That means continuously this is going to deal shock to the enemy. A shock in the core, my friends. Welcome, welcome, the lunatic mood Geese Howard. Your days are numbered. So this character is specifically going to be very useful against Geese Howard in lunatic mood with her all the shock dealing features. Next, we are having a PvP exclusive that is going to cast a critical hit shield and absorb a damage for 7 seconds when attacked. Blah blah blah. So notice the thing is, this character is not going to have the shield in PvE, only in PvP. But there are certain things that you remember, that certain game modes like Absolute War, certain game modes like League Match, for example, those are also considered as PvP to a great extent, and in those cases you will be getting that shield support. But of course you will not get it in places like Guild, for example. You will not get it in Guild or story mode here. But don't get pretty much disheartened with this feature, because we have seen this shield not having a feature in BS Ash, and we know how strong he is and how useful he can be. The thing is, this character is a defense type character, so this character will be way more useful without even a shield. So this is the thing about it, but I wish they could have added this shield here. Now let's go and check out the skill preview of this character. And let's start with the first one. The grab skill once again. But what is this? I don't know what is this. Wow, it looks like the classic, I don't know how it's going to, but this is something new. Totally, this is something new. Wow. Decent grab skills. I hope there is something useful whenever. Okay, breaker. That is the neck breaker something. Now this is going to be the default finisher. Wow. Decent grab and decent execution of skill. My goodness. I love it. And the finisher, Blue Mary Blues. The finisher that we saw in our trailers. Look at this damn thing. How long it is. Oh boy. Very long finisher. Love it. And of course, you can see that a lot of grab skills, but she will be applying her thing, and you don't have to worry about it because she has some additional mechanisms. Overall, I would say pretty much decent characters, and Terry Bogart for the ultimate destroyer of lunatic Rugal, and this girl here is going to be very useful against lunatic geese. Now let's go and check out the cards. Now we are having this agonized young wolf type 1, 2 and 3. This card is going to increase attack by 7%. This is the set card of this banner, and this is going to increase attack by 7% for individual cards, and as a total effect it is going to increase by 21% for just adding the cards. And as the set effect, it is going to increase special signature fighters burn and shock damage by 75%. Increase attack by 22% for 7 seconds when special signature fighter lands an active skill. So this is somewhat similar to the Boss Syndrome Volume 5 set card that we got, the Nameless set card. The same effect, but somewhat it is improved, because in Boss Syndrome card we actually got this attack of attack increase of 22 for 7 seconds when a blast skill is the strike skill, whenever the character actually does a strike skill. But in this case, you don't have to be limited under any skill, so it can be strike skill, blast skill, or grab skill. So looks like a pretty much decent card set, which is going to be really useful with the characters who are actually having the dot explosion in their kit. So as you saw that Terry is having the dot explosion, so this card set can be really useful for him. And for the special card, and there will be 3 types of special card. For example, this one is going to increase attack by 2%. Other ones are going to increase critical rate and critical damage, and of course active skill damage. We all know that previously we have seen this mechanism in Boss Syndrome Volume 5 as well. And as a bonus effect, this is going to recover HP by 8% when using this special card. So this is going to be pretty much useful for this character, because as an attack type character, this HP boost is going to help a lot. And for Blue Mary, once again 3 types of cards will be available, and as a bonus effect, it is going to increase attack by 10% and critical rate by 3.6% for 10 seconds when using Blue Mary Blues. So this card is going to buff her attack to a great extent. So amazing stuff right here. Now this will be the option card of this banner. Usually it is going to increase attack by 5%, decrease skill cooldown by 1.2 seconds, and 50% chance to increase attack 30% for 5 seconds upon landing a grab skill with a cooldown of 15 seconds. Now this option card is not going to be the best thing in the world, I would say. First of all, it is just limited for grab skill, so it is going to be only used by the character Blue Mary so far in the game. Only Blue Mary will going to get the benefit. Terry will not get benefit from this option card at all. But even then again, 50% chance, there is an 50% chance you will have to sacrifice your other 50%, and the attack increase of 30% is going to last for only 5 seconds, and the cooldown itself is 15 seconds. This is ridiculous, and I cannot actually criticize this card enough. Ridiculous effect, ridiculous chances here. For 5 seconds you'll get that extra 13% of attack, but then you have to wait 15 seconds for the cooldown. Ridiculous, I would say, but still it's a card. So friends, now we have talked enough about the characters and the cards. Now probably you already know. Now let's talk about some other stuff that is available in this update. And for this, I would like to pick this one first. That is going to be Bob's Celebration Shop. And as you can see, there is a bunch of things that are on the sale due to the buffs of Adelheid and Rock Howard. Now the buffs of Adelheid and Rock Howard may not be very important because those characters are having not very high amount of buffs, but there are some interesting things are on the sale, especially these star imprint stone. This is going to attack moon boss fighters imprint stone. That means this imprint stone is going to be applicable only with the boss fighters. Now here's the thing, you need to understand the difference between boss fighters and boss syndrome fighters. If you are going to buy this thing anyways, the boss fighters are the fighters who are actually the final bosses of or sub bosses of any King of Fighters franchise game. For example, let's say Giz Howard, he is a boss fighter. Chrysalid is a boss fighter. Rugal is a boss fighter. Orochi is a boss fighter. Ash is a boss fighter, but Nameless is not a boss fighter. He is just a boss syndrome fighter, but he is not a boss fighter because he was not a boss in any ways. And if you go to Nameless and if you check his tags, as you can see, he's tagged by boss syndrome fighter, defense type all-star, nets, male, but there is no tag as boss fighter. While if you check Ash Crimson's profile, you can see the boss fighter tag right here, and he is also tagged as boss syndrome fighter. So you guys need to understand this thing before you are going to buy this stuff. So this thing probably is not going to work on all boss syndrome fighters, but most boss syndrome fighters so far, because most of them are actually boss. Now this is going to increase attack by 10% here when fully leveled up, and in the middle effect this is going to decrease damage received by 6% for 5 seconds when boss syndrome fighter is attacked. Now this is not the best effect in the world, I would say, but still it's a good one. In the final tier, this is going to increase boss syndrome fighter's attack by 10%. So it's a double attack stone, but it is not going to increase your attack by 22%. Instead, it is going to increase your attack by 20%. Still, it is a good thing, I would say, and maybe you can consider buying it. But if you are buying it for nameless, so this is not going to work. But if you are using it for any other boss syndrome fighters, then it's perfectly fine. And another stone right here, as you can see, this is going to be attack moon imprint stone, and it is going to be applied only for the fatal fury fighters. And you need to check out the fatal fury fighters if you are having them. I don't really think if you are actually having a lot of great fatal fury fighters. Terry will be definitely one of them, but I need to check who are actually meta fighters in fatal fury. And 10% attack increase here. Same effect, decrease damage received by 6% for 5 seconds. And once again 10% attack from here. So overall a good stone. So next I'm going to briefly talk about the next new guild content, and of course you are having this new interface, so don't be confused about it. I was a bit pretty confused when it first appeared, but let's go to this guild content from here, and you can see that both options available here, and this portion you can see Lady Chang added into the picture. So you can have a good guess that Lady Chang may be coming as the next guild boss. I mean, that is going to be pretty amazing. I didn't expect Lady Chang as a guild boss ever. Why she would be a guild boss? In anyways, let's go to the new guild, and this is going to be the Colossal Invasion, and this time remaining says for 3 days. So I don't know what will happen after 3 days, but you have 3 more days to fight this boss and reach as much as high as possible. And I haven't really fought him yet. I will make a detailed guide on it and everything about it. But as you can see that after fighting this boss, you'll be getting these rewards here. These coins that is known as Guild Boss Challenge coin. And with these coins, you can actually buy a very interesting stuff. You have to go to the exchange shop, go to always, and Guild Boss exchange shop. This is something new here, and you will be able to get these boxes here, and each of these boxes will will need 500 of those coins, and that is not a small amount. Of course, you need to have a huge amount of coins, and each of this box is going to have this bunch of rewards, hammers, and of course star and moon imprint stones. But this is going to be a mystery box, so you will never know what type of imprint stone you can actually get. You might actually get this hexagon imprint stone as well. They are double attack, so this is going to be amazing. So you can actually get any of them. As you can see, there are even soul boxes already. So I am hopeful about it, and I was thinking about it, and so this is going to be a great addition in the game to increase our chances to get star and moon imprint stones that we always wanted. So in quick succession, let me just touch some other portions. As you can see, you have this rush dungeon here, and we have this shop here, and you can see the characters who you can actually use and get and maximize the coins. Good to see that this set is also included in this section. We all have this set, and there is a good shop we are having here. You can actually buy this set if you don't have it. Pretty decent set. I always use this set in guild runs, and of course these tokens, hammers, soul tokens, pretty decent stuff. They're adding soul tokens here. Definitely I'm going to buy this. Interesting stuff as always. Now let's move on to this section here. This is going to be the 2 soul event that is obtained. You need to obtain either Mary or Terry to play this thing, and this will bring you a lot of rewards as we saw in the Boss Syndrome Volume 5. Next we are having this time attack challenge. This one is added here with a remaining time of 12 days, and remember that this banner is going to last for 12 days. That is somewhat interesting because most special signature or boss syndrome banners used to last for 19 or 20 days on average, but 12 days, that is kind of mysterious. Maybe something is coming around. Now you need to play this time attack and by only these characters owned SS Terry Bogard, SS Blue Mary. I don't have none of them yet, so I cannot participate. And to look at this, lot of people are actually playing this team thing like damn crazy. So that was the update in a nutshell. I tried to be brief as possible, but I had to talk a lot about I had to talk about a lot of stuff. So pardon me if the video is long and boring to you. I'm sorry about it. But I hope now you have a clear idea about these things and the character and their strength and everything. Now you make your decision whether you are going to spend your rubies in order to summon this character. By the way, this limited rubies is going to last on 31st January. So make sure you spend those limited rubies before it is expired. You can actually spend them in card banner or character banner. I think character banner spending is going to be more useful for you, because if you spend on the character banner and if you are able to get one of them, then you will be able to unlock that 2 soul events, and you will be able to play the time attack as well, and you can actually get some rubies from there. So these two can be immensely useful. So let me know what you are thinking about the update, and hope to see you guys soon in some other videos. Till then, stay awesome and peace out, my friends.